Well, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the channel the head of the Oasis Collectors Group, the man himself, Kyle Dale. How are you doing?
You all right, mate? How you doing? You all right? At the head.
So, Kyle, can you tell us how you got started with collecting Oasis stuff?
I was born in Manchester, really. That was it. I mean, I'll tell you what it was, James. When I moved to Scotland, I moved from Manchester to Scotland 13 years ago now. I just started getting more and more kind of items and bits and pieces, just genuinely because I missed home. It was as simple as that, and that turned into something. The big thing for me was over lockdown. We're all sat out on board eating pot noodles and sat on our own. So I just made a group together on Facebook and just brought all my kind of okay contacts into it. It was supposed to be just a little hub where we could just generally have a chat about signatures and is this real, stop each other getting ripped off. But it ended up growing into something pretty special, yeah. So it's been a roller coaster of 3 years since then, really.
Through the collectors group, you've actually got to meet every member of the band so far. Is that right?
Not every member, no. I think, but near enough. I was friends with a couple of people before, so it's quite handy when I started the group to be able to do a signing session or two with these people, or do a little interview like you do on the YouTube channel.
I have to ask: have you met Griggsy?
I have met Griggsy. Yeah, I've met him three times.
Is it true he didn't know what Stop the Clocks was?
No, it was Stop the Clocks. Yeah, I think it was Stop the Clocks. He was just looking at us. He didn't really recognise the cover, and that's great. That goes to show that he literally has just gone. That was my time of my life done. Now I'm out the door. I'll enjoy my life and cricket and football, and that's me done. He literally doesn't follow it or care about it much at all. But he was the nicest guy when we first met him. He really was. He had a good chat with us, and it was a total chance meeting. But again, he was happy to sign a few bits for us and crack on. Yeah.
So if someone wants, their definitely maybe vinyl signed by every band member, you are probably the only person in the world right now who could facilitate that.
Well, we've not met Liam and Noel. I mean, the fact is, we've not met Liam and Noel to do signing sessions or anything like that. We've only met pretty much every other band member. But Liam and Noel, these guys are active arena playing musicians still, so you can't get them to come out and meet you in a pub and have a few beers and stuff. It's just it's not possible. I don't put myself out there as being able to get stuff done for people, but we do signing sessions in the group when we're lucky enough to get them. But I think a lot of people have joined the group, especially at the start, and done very, very well, in terms of getting the collections signed up. And it's not just getting them signed, it's getting rare pieces as well. I mean, we had the Sawmills tape come out this week. That came out via a member of the group, and that's massive news. You know what I mean?
That's literally my next question. Was that through the collectors group, the previously unheard Oasis Sawmills demo have come to light, including super rare version of I Am the Walrus, the studio version. So, can you tell us the story of how that incredible find was unearthed?
So for me, I can't really take much credit. I think it's just two members of the group owned it, and one of them just decided to put it out there. But as you've seen this week, the second something drops in somewhere, the world is sharing it. Everybody's sharing it. And I actually thought it'd be quite nice to put that tape on my YouTube channel and put it out there as an exclusive. Didn't get a chance. Within 12 hours of it being the CDs being done, and bang, it's everywhere. So it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I've been sent it already multiple times from multiple unnamed sources. I've been sent it loads of times already.
Little buggers, aren't they? Little tinkers. But I think it's a special listen. I was saying the other week to people, I'd not heard it before. And when it came to it was going to be shared, I thought, well, all right, I'm going to give this some dedicated time. I think 2 or 3 Sundays ago, I was sat there with my kid doing a Jurassic World jigsaw on the kitchen table. I thought I'll put it on in the background and we'll just see what it sounds like. Nah, the jigsaw didn't last long. As soon as it starts, you're like, oh wow, because it's so good because it's so raw. But some of the songs are so good because they're so bad. Like the out of tune vocals and Slide Away especially was a great listen because it's kind of terrible. It's a weird one, but then it's great to hear the evolution of the song. You know what I mean? It's great to hear where something starts and where it ends up.
I mean, my first reaction when I listened to it after someone sent me it was, holy shit, these are the stems that Morris remixed, and you listen to what they actually recorded. So those mixes are straight stems mixed, and then you listen to what Morris did, and you go, fucking hell, he's a wizard.
Wow.
I mean, genuinely, I'm a producer. I do that stuff. In those early days, they were out of time everywhere. Liam was, all over the shop, great tone, but all over the shop. And then you listen to what Owen Morris did with those stems, and you just think, fucking hell, how in the 90s with just, Cubase, how did he do that? So Brian Garcia out in the States is widely reckoned to probably be the #1 Oasis collector in the world. Is it safe to say you would probably be the #1 in the UK?
It's a hard thing to say. I think maybe up there with a few others, because there's people that aren't as gobshitey as me that want to be out there and talking and stuff. And I think you've got, especially this is why the OCG is quite good, because there's people that have got a manner of things. For example, I don't touch cassettes or clothes, or it's always been about vinyl and items for me and signed things. I'd probably say I've got one of the most biggest signed collections out there. There are a lot more like me as well, though. It's a real hard one to say that. Up there in the UK. So, I think I'd be up there as one of the guys, but not even touching Garcia's toes. You know what I mean? In terms of the stuff he's got, it's crazy.
Right. So Kyle, mate, over to you now. Will you please talk us through your top Oasis pieces?
So this is the Stop the Clocks dartboard that was featured on the front of the. I can just show you actually. It's featured on the front of the Stop the Clocks cover. There was 50 of these made, and they were kind of given away around the world as prizes. You couldn't buy them. There's 50 across the world, so they're really hard to find. And then at the various signing sessions, I've added a few signatures there as well now. So I think that was the first or second time Gen ever wrote "Hang in a Good Place." If you ever see "Hang in a Good Place" on a drum skin, it's fake. Guarantee it. I mean, it is such a fantastic cover. It really is. It's a great design. And it's especially obviously a few signing session ones there. That's when you were talking about Gwigs there, saying about not seeing Stop the Clocks. Well, this is one of the Virgin Megastore definitely maybes. So this was when I think they did a signing session for What's the Story, but it was a bit of a shambles, to be honest. So these are really hard to find now. The fully signed up definitely maybes, because it was a signing session at the launch. People took CDs in and flyers and posters and whatnot, but anyone that took the vinyl was a clever boy. So it's that's the one that's the collector piece. You're probably looking about $1,500 to $2,000 now to pick these up. But we've tried to get a few of these filled up over the years on the signing sessions. Getting Andy to write the lyrics to "Turn Up the Sun." That was a nice coupe there, and a few of these ones. You've got Gem again there doing "Hung in a Bad Place," the promo for that. Yeah, the records are my main area really. This is just kind of the Liam, Noel, and Oasis section, but it's they're the special pieces over there. Coffee table. This has been a project for years. I've taken the glass out here, but starting to see these in the coffee table. I was at a 1993 ticket there. That's when they supported Real People. Set lists under here from Loch Lomond. Main Road, that's a rare one there. That's a 1997 when they played GMX. You don't see those tickets often at all.
Wow.
Nebworth. I think actually this is as bad as it says underneath here. There's a set list for Nebworth.
Wow.
10 Years of Noise. I've got a bit of a soft spot for the 10 Years of Noise tour. That was a great tour, that. And that's kind of the later on areas. So there's set list there from Manchester, Heaton Park, and it's become a bit of a collector's piece now. You know what I mean? The coffee table has become a collector's piece. God knows, if my kids dropped a load of juice on top of this, I think I would have to move out.
So, Kyle, what would you estimate is the value of that coffee table with all the parts?
I mean, straight away, they're them two tickets are £300 each. You know what I mean? That's just sold on eBay for $150 the other week. That's about a £300 ticket. $4,000 to $5,000 maybe. It's a seriously valuable coffee table, put it that way. It really is. But it's it's turned into a piece of art. You know what I mean? It's a piece of art as a coffee table. That now it's cool. The Vox box that's in there. Sorry, it's not in there. It's been sent away. I'm hoping to get it signed by a certain someone, because one of my favourite items. I think you will not find another Vox box that's fully signed. So this is totally has Noel, Gwigs, Whitey, Bonehead, and Tony on there. So it's away at the moment. I'm hoping to add Liam on it, and then it could be a complete Vox box. That's a special one. There's some nice items in here. I've really got into the recording studio stuff. Things like the master CDs and That's Wonderwall on VHS before all the effects were put on. That's quite an interesting watch. That's on the YouTube channel, actually. You can link into that and have a watch of that at any time. These are a weird one. These buses, because I think it's a French promo item, and there's only 25 of them made. I think it's rubbish. You know what I mean? I think it's absolutely rubbish as an item. It's garbage. The kids love it. You're looking at about £1,000 to pick it up. It's a toy bus. It's crazy.
Is that the Sugar Bowl, or is that just a similar Sugar Bowl?
No, this is one of the original Sugar Bowls. This, because you get these you can buy these online, can't you? Mine is actually from the party, from an official source that picked it up. Whitey and Bonnet have signed mine in the past. You can tell because it's all clouded up and old. If you see an Alessi jar, plus there's a little tip for you. The balls inside are what tell you whether it's real or fake, because the balls, there's a reason you'll know if it's real or fake with them polystyrene balls. We've got not just Oasis in the house. There's a lot of Oasis in this room, but this fully signed Sex Pistols vinyl is a pretty special piece to me. It's a reissue. When Johnny Rotten did his tour, getting him to add on to that and complete it was a belter. This took a long time to get done. I think this is the world's only piece, genuinely signed, not fake nonsense off eBay, that is fully signed by every single past member of Oasis. It's got everybody on it. You've got all the drummers with the drumsticks, and you've got all the members on there as well. I mean, what do you think of that? If you walk into a bar or a house and you see that, I think that to me blows me away. It really does.
That really is incredible. Is stuff like that going to be going in your bar when you open it?
Well, to be honest, yeah, everything in this room that's displayable will be in there. It will be a hard rock cafe for the UK 90s scene. You know, I mean, the next one here, the Stone Roses frame, there's a very similar theme going through with the blue velvet. But again, a signed drum skin, a signed underneath there tambourine, signed microphone, and a fully signed vinyl. So these sort of pieces they're really hard to come by. Anything with Squire on is unbelievably rare to get hold of. The Telecasters, this is an ongoing project. So this is one I just started last year. But we've got Liam and Noel on there. That was an old signed pick guard. So I put that onto a Telecaster and started the addition of Tony and Bone. So if I can get Gwigs up here, that'll be a nice fully signed original lineup Telecaster. Going back to this master plan, this is probably my favourite vinyl. The box set is fantastic. This one's fully signed by the whole band. Again, Gwigs was hard to get on it, but we managed it. Early Liam, early Noel. But I love this box set, but I've got this as well, which is a real special bit. This is the one-off original prototype, let's say, of the box set that was given to Noel. So you can see there it's been made for Creation Records, 29th of May 98. Effectively, that before that became that. So this is a one-off white label test press of the Master Plan box set. So I think them two together as a set looks great. These sort of things in the background. I mean, the master tape here for Stand on the Shoulders of Giants. And you can see scribbled out there what it was going to be, the creation number, and obviously it all changed throughout. It became our kid, but these master discs would have been sent across to Howie Weinberg in New York.
Is that as in that's stems, or is that the actual mixes of the songs?
Well, in the past, I've got DAT tapes and stuff, so I've gone and bought DAT players to listen to the things that I've got, but I can't play this, so I need to do some research and do some playing around, trying to figure out exactly what this is.
Because if that did turn out to be stems, then that could be remixed in the style of 90s Oasis, so you could hear what Shoulders of Giants would sound like if it was Owen Morris, basically.
Well, let's have a look at that then. That could be a nice little project to work on. We'll do that. We'll have a look, because I think I've got CDs. I've got the master recording studio CDs in there for Definitely Maybe, Be Here Now, and What's the Story. But I think they are post work.
One of the biggest demands that I get constantly, particularly after I did that recent video on how to mix like Definitely Maybe, was people saying you need to get in touch with Noel and get the Be Here Now tracks and mix them like this. And so if someone had the Be Here Now tracks and were willing to do a joint project on it, you could get a really nice new mix. Do you remember Noel started one and then he abandoned it after, do you know what I mean?
There might be something we can do there as a little project, absolutely. But that I suppose that chat does lead on to this next bit. I think I've got these couple of DAT tapes here, which were really interesting pieces. I think this is the Earl's Court Master Mix DAT copy, 4th of November. that I've never actually got this one converted. It was done at Rockfield, 14th of the 1295. So yeah, that's a cool one. I think I need to go and get that converted. I think this DAT tape is literally a pride and joy piece for me because it's just stunning. It's called Oasis B-side session tape, October 1997. It's basically all around the world, the B-side session for it. So you think to yourself, what could it be really? What's a B-side session? Well, it's got, for example, Noel singing Street Fighting Man, which is just, I mean, again, just hearing the other brother sing a song is quite special. It's got the flashbacks on there. It's got All Around the World. It's got loads of clap tracks. It's quite an interesting track. And then at the end of it, there's three songs that I don't think I've ever heard anywhere before that were done. And one of them, interestingly enough, turned into Go Let It Out. So obviously we're talking now going from 1997 to then when Stand on the Shoulders came out. So seeing the bridge of one of these acoustic songs that was recorded on this, it's not the same words, but it's the same melody. You know the Princes and Kings part of Go Let It Out.
Yeah.
Well, that is like a bridge on one of the songs on here. So it's a really good listen. But there's three tunes on there that I don't think I've ever seen the light of day. So that's an interesting piece that I'm just trying to put it back in Noel's hands as we speak. Street Fighting Man's on there about 5 or 6 times. I think Noel sings it four times and Liam sings it once. And I think what we get is the Liam released version.
What you have there then is the raw tracks they used, which were later comped by Owen Morris. So typically in a recording session, back then and now, a recording artist won't just give you a perfect take. They'll give you 4 or 5 full takes. Yeah. And then the producer will comb through, choose all the best phrases, put them together. That's a compilate. Morris did that with Liam on pretty much every song. So what you've got there is the raw comps, the raw original takes.
Any DAT tapes I get, any cassettes I get, I always have a ritual. Go and get them converted. And it could be for anything, for any bands. I've got a couple of Seahorses ones down there, and they were the same. Go get a little half bottle of whiskey and sit in my room and just have a little sip and just listen. And this one, when I first got this converted, I did 4 at the same time, and they were all like 2 hours long, 3 hours long, 1 hour long. This one was shown as 8 minutes long, so I did it last, but it was wrong. The original readout that the guy told me, I got it wrong. It wasn't 8 minutes; it was nearly an hour. So as soon as you got through the first couple of tracks, I thought, "Hey, up, what's this?" And it just turned into one of those nights. I thought, "Wow." I think I genuinely might be the first person to hear those in 25 years. I've got a few bits and pieces that are cool, like a couple of maracas that Liam's chucked out in a crowd there. That's Manchester and Amsterdam. A Supernova, fully signed by the whole band in 2005 in Glasgow. There's a gold disc there for Whatever. That was given to a band member, to Tony. This is the Q Awards 1996. So basically signed by all the winners. it was like a table card. So Liam signed it and Bono signed it, Noel, Bonehead, Elvis Costello, Rod Stewart. And obviously the big one is Mark Owen from Take That. So I'm glad he's on there. That's really
Mate, that just tripled its value.
I'll tell you what, he's done it twice. He's signed it there and he's signed it there. Mark Owen. He sweats. We've got the Columbia original demo here. That's being won by somebody tonight for 20 quid. So that'll be an interesting one. That's a nice promo there that you can see. That's probably the last item that I can show you really. The Stop the Clock stamped Champagne Supernova promo. That's a very rare one. I was showing somebody that yesterday. That's a nice pretty green sign from the shop in Glasgow, and I've got that last about 6 months ago. I've had a few people start signing it, so I can give you a clue what the bar name is going to be. It's a bit of sweets. Yeah, so that's the next thing for me. The bar will be the new big projects, the be all and end all. Everything I've been doing over the last couple of years has been, I think, leading to this. You know, I've worked in finance, I've worked in property, I'm obsessed by music and memorabilia. I think things are just leading down this pathway. So as soon as the energy prices come down a little bit, or a nice venue comes up, I'll be focused on the bar, and that's where I'll be doing signing sessions, events, gigs, launches, all of that sort of stuff will happen in my own venue. We're looking at Glasgow for it. because I think there's nowhere else in Scotland it can be. I'm considering going back home to Manchester and trying it there as well. We'll just have to see where the right venue comes up.
Well, I mean, right now, Glasgow remains the rock and roll capital of the UK, pretty much undisputed. And Manchester has been a bit quieter in recent years.
And what you see today is literally a taster of what the bar will have. We just need to get it open, but it'll like the hacienda, build it. It must be built. It must be built.
Well, for people who don't know, who are collectors and haven't yet got plugged in, how can they get involved in the Oasis Collectors Group?
Just join on Facebook, simple as that, really. But I think the only thing is it isn't a numbers game, so it's not a fan group where you just kind of come on and just post a meme of Liam eating a Mars bar. It's a genuine kind of a collectors group. So it's a community. That's the best way of saying it. It's a community.
Well, mate, thank you so much for coming on. It's been a privilege to see some of your stuff. Nice to catch up as always, and I'm sure I'll see you sometime soon.
All the best, mate. Speak to you soon. Nice one.